Hey everybody, it's Alex Miller at Capneon here. Today I'm going to talk about some looming, maybe pretty tragic, and undersold dangers for small business. If you know me well, which you probably don't since I'm posting this on the internet, I'm a big history buff, and I would say if you want to understand the present, you need a few data points from the past as well. Inspired by some of the obvious current events, I've been thinking a lot about, well, what's the history of protectionist policies, interventionist policies like tariffs? And there's a whole lot to say, but one thing I noticed reading around is that these things can get really brutal for small business. And let me give you a guess at why this could be turned out to be true for us. You might read a story in the newspaper to the effect of, oh, we're talking about XYZ tariff. And then people start talking about, oh, XYZ big company is going to be in big trouble because they're really dependent on trade with that country. And what's happened a bunch of times, now I have no idea if it'll keep happening or where it'll all go, but what has happened a bunch of times right now is the government has said, oh, okay, well, maybe never mind. We'll put it off. We'll think of something else. And this in and itself is not bad, except we have to take a moment. Well, all businesses, some of which are too small to individually talk to the government, which are too small to individually get noticed by the media, are also affected by these things in the same way. And the lesson of history is that if we go down this road far enough in a particular way, a lot of small businesses are just going to get vaporized. They are not going to pass on costs because consumers don't want the things they sell at that price point. And they're not going to get a $10 million loan from Wall Street for being too small. They're just going to close shop. I'm not saying for sure this will happen. I don't claim to know where policy is going to go better than anybody else. But I think if you look at the past, you have to believe that's a real danger. And you can see in events that are happening now and might happen more so in the future why things could shake out in a way that's going to be really brutally painful for small business. Exactly because society is not well built to notice and care.